Hello everyone. Welcome to this video. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Brenda. I'm an artist and a certified Zentangle teacher. Today is Mindful Monday, and on Mindful Mondays, I guide you through all 8 steps of the magical Zentangle method of drawing. I find Zentangle to be truly magical because my life is much improved since I've begun my practice of the Zentangle method. And so I like to share that with as many people as I can. So thank you for joining me, and I'm so happy that you're here. Before we begin, I just want to talk briefly about what we're going to use today. So I am going to be drawing on a 3.5-inch square Zentangle tile. It is made of this beautiful paper. It's a watercolor paper. It's thin, but it's sturdy, and I just love it. Then I'm going to be drawing with a Micron PN pen. I'm going to be using a pencil for my shading and a tortillon to blend out the graphite again in the shading. And we have our little Zentangle mascot bijou here to remind us to enjoy the process. So let's go ahead and begin with step 1. Step 1 is gratitude and appreciation. And I am going to talk you through a short breathing exercise. So get comfortable where you are. Sit up tall, but be relaxed. And we're going to start with a few deep breaths. Breathing in, getting tall, and out, and relaxing as you exhale. And again, big breath in and out. And one final big breath in and out. Now just let your breath fall into a natural breathing rhythm and just pay attention to it. Try not to direct it, but simply follow. Thoughts will pop in. That's okay. That's what your mind does, it thinks. But today we are going to acknowledge those thoughts and let them go and return back to focusing on our breath. Now take a moment and think of something that makes you smile. I'm confident that if it's making you smile, it's something that you are grateful for. So hold on to that thought and really feel it. What does gratitude feel like? As we draw today, I want you to remember this feeling. And if you reach a point where you just need a break, or perhaps your line is going where you don't want it to, just stop yourself. Take a big breath in and out. And then you'll be ready to pick up your pen and begin again. And that is all there is to step 1, gratitude and appreciation. Now we're going to need our pencil for step 2. And step 2 is simply to put a dot in each of the 4 corners of our tile. Step 3 is to connect those dots to create a border. And step 4 is our string. Now today's string is going to be a little bit different. And what I want to do is I want to take another tile and I want to use it to draw some straight lines. And I'm just drawing these without paying a whole lot of attention. They are going to intersect in certain spots. They're different directions. I think I'm doing 3 spaces, and that is all I'm going to do, or 3 lines. So I've got 3 lines and lots of spaces inside these lines to draw my tangles, which is step 5. So with step 5, we'll need our pens, and we are going to begin with the pattern Zander. Zander is like a ribbon pattern or a border pattern because you draw it in a long border or whatever. And I want to draw Zander across this one line that goes from the top to the bottom on my tile. And Zander begins by drawing some rings that are going to hold our bundles together. Zander kind of looks like a bundle. And so these are like C's that are on their backs. And then we're going to draw another one that connects to it. And that is our first band. Now I'm going to draw another one here. I have kind of an invisible line in my mind. So there's 2. Three. I guess that should be good enough. But I guess I'm gonna do it this way. Okay, so we have 3 bands. I might want to do one more. I'm gonna do one more up here. And because I didn't draw a second line in pencil, you'll see that all of my bands are a little bit different sized, and that's not a problem. So I'm going to go ahead and start drawing my lines inside these bands. I like to start in the center. And I'm going to draw this so that it looks like it tucks up underneath this border line with my pencil up there. And I start Zander always in the middle. So I'm going to draw a line down, lift it up, go behind the band, and then I'm going to start leaving some white space for some sparkle. And then the end is going to be kind of loose. You don't have to do it that way, but that's how I'm going to do it. This one kind of flares out at the base, but that's okay. So I've got my center line now. The next line I like to draw is right next to the center, and just pick a side, it doesn't matter which one. And I might leave a sparkled space, but not as much sparkle in this one. And then as we go out farther, sparkles kind of stop. I start to get to the edges, then because these bands are different sizes, I'm going to need more lines in some spaces than in others. have enough. Okay, I think that's good. It's not perfect, but it will work. Now I'm going to make these bands black with a sparkle in the center, just to add some contrast, a little bit of drama. And the way I do that is to just kind of fill it in and stop. To leave my sparkle. And there it is. I like to leave the spaces in the sparkle a little jagged, if you will. It just seems to make it look a little bit more realistic to me, but it doesn't matter. It's abstract art. It's the Zentangle Method. So whatever makes you happy is good enough. Okay, so there's our sander, and we've got these bands holding it together. It doesn't really look like it's too terribly full. Maybe I'll add a few more lines to the edge just to kind of give it an illusion that it's got all of these. I think that looks just a little bit better. So that is Xander. That's our first tangle today. Now our second tangle is going to be Arucas. Now Arucas kind of looks like a star, and we're going to put that in this space here, and it kind of go behind our Xander. So we're going to begin with a circle. And then we are going to draw some lines that go out. An aura line. You can draw as many of these as you want, and they can go in any direction you like. We're just drawing these kind of like spokes that come out from that center. Okay, the next step in Arucas is to aura around the circle in the center, but just between our spokes that we drew. And I'm turning my tile, as you see, because that helps me get a more consistent line. Okay, so we've got our first ring around our center, and now we're going to aura these lines on both sides. I'm just going to do one side and then turn it and do the other side. And these come just from the ring, not from the center circle. And another ring. And then we're back to auraing that original spoke. Okay, now we'll do the other side. And another ring. Then more lines. And another ring. And take your time as you're drawing this. Remember, this is a meditative art form. And it is intended to relax you more than anything else. Bring you into this moment. And just focus on what you're doing. Nothing else. What line are you drawing right now? And that is all you need to worry about. Okay, one more ring, I think, is about all we need here. Okay. I think we're going to leave it. I'm going to do one more row of rings, but then we're done with the arucas. You can fill it in all the way if that's what you prefer, but I'm good right where I'm at, so I'm going to just leave it be for now. Okay, so that is arucas. Now the next tangle we're going to do is quabog. Yeah. Quabog is this fun little organic pattern that kind of has a little knob on the end of each thing, and it's one continuous line. So that's what we're going to do next, and we are going to draw this tangle along this line here so that our quabog will come up and it'll go behind our xander. So I'm going to go ahead and start over here. Depending on how you draw them, they can go behind each other. Okay, and there's my quabog. Some of the shapes are a little different, but there are no mistakes, remember, so it is all good. Our last tangle today for this tile is going to be Diva Dance, because I'd like to add a little bit more drama. So this is our Diva Dance. We are going to put our Diva Dance in this triangle here in the side. And so let's go ahead and do that. But we've got all these long lines in our Arukas and long lines in our Xander. So I'm going to do the Diva Dance. I think it's the rock and roll version. I'm not sure, but it's just a variation of the Diva Dance pattern that kind of looks like a flower. So I'll go ahead and draw that. And that starts like a little spiral. And then we're going to add some bumps that we're going to fill in. And we aura the space as we go around our line. And I like to stop at some point and start adding more bumps of solid black. And then as I go, I'm just going to kind of go back and forth between adding solid black bumps and going around in the spiral around the center. I think I'm going to go ahead and just add some line to this Diva Dance that will also kind of go behind. the zander. I think I'm good with this. I'm just trying to decide if I need a little something more. And I think maybe I'm just going to take this quabog and bring some of that up into just this space here. I don't know, just for a little bit of fun. And I think we'll be good with that. Maybe I'll just do this one, just kind of goes behind. Okay, so we're done with step 5, the tangles, and I'm putting my pen away for the moment. And I am going to get my pencil now, and we are going to begin step 6, the shading. So let's begin with sander. That's where we started. So we'll go ahead and we're going to add a little graphite to the outside edges of each of these sides. And then we're going to add a line underneath the bands. Some people start with that. I just do it all at the same time. Okay, so now I have my tortillon. I'm going to blend this out. And I'm going to start with the bands and blend it out just down a little bit underneath the band. Then I'm going to come back up and I'm going to do the outside edges. Turning my tile as I go. Okay, so we're done with sander. Grab my pencil again, and let's do arucas next. Now, this is pretty simple. We are going to put a little smile in our circle, and then we are just kind of gonna, in a zigzag is what I do, line with my graphite. down on the sides of these triangle spaces that we made with our bands. Let's get the tortillon back out, and we are just blending that out. Okay, so I think we're pretty good with our arucas, and now I just need to add a little bit more graphite where it actually meets up here with the sander. So let's go ahead, add a little bit on each side of the sander, and we might as well do a little bit there where the diva dance is. Oh, let's go ahead and a little bit in the edges here. Didn't put it everywhere because I knew I'd have enough graphite on my tortillon to fill in some of it. So let's put a little bit more graphite here where it meets sander down here. And then our little orb. Okay, so that is arucas, and we are done with shading that. So the next thing to shade is our quabog. And what I'm going to do here is first, everywhere we have one that goes behind, I am going to add graphite there. Here. Okay, now I'm going to go in and put a little bit in between them. And then I'm going to blend that out, and that's how I like to shade my quabog. And I'm shading the negative in between so that they show up a little bit better. Okay, now I can go in, blend out. So in addition to going between them, there are some that I went back in and add a little bit to the top. But mostly those are where, like this one I didn't add any because it's surrounded by the graphite in between. But some of the other ones were just kind of standing there by themselves, all exposed and need a little bit of contrast. So this guy got all confused and crooked. Oh well. Okay, I think that's good for my quabog. So that's what we've got there. And the last one to shade is going to be our Diva Dance. And I am looking for, I guess I'm going to call them little dips. So like here, 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 here. There's really no right or wrong way to do this, so don't worry about it at all. This is just adding a touch of contrast to make it look more interesting. Let's see what we got in this straightaway here. That looks like it needs one, and maybe down here. Okay, and then I guess I'll put a little extra here where it goes behind Xander. I think I'm going to get my pen back out and I'm going to redraw a few of these lines just to bring back the dark. So up here, definitely here. And then maybe here. I think that might be all I need to redraw. Oh, I know what I want to do. The reason I'm redrawing some of these is because, you know, when you add graphite to black, solid black, it actually just makes it lighter, not darker. And so this way I'm bringing that dark back. Looks like it got a little bit dulled as we shaded, but that should be good. Okay, so we're done with step 6, the shading. And now we're going on to step 7, which is to initial and sign. So I just need to find a spot to put my initials or my chop on the front. Maybe I'll tuck it in here. Okay, so there's my chop, which is just stylized initials B and C. Then I'm going to flip it over and I will date it on the top line. I'll do that off screen. And then I'm going to sign it. Then I'm going to name our tangles. So we began with Xander. And then we did, I think we did Arukas next. And then we did Quabog. And then we did Diva Dance. And I created this tile for my Mindful Monday 75. And then all that's left is step 8, and that is simply to sit back and appreciate again. So we began with appreciation, we end with appreciation, and hopefully you are appreciating that you took some time for yourself to be in this moment, that you made something, hopefully, that you like, that you enjoyed the process. I am certainly grateful for each and every one of you. So thank you for joining me today. If you're still here, I really, really appreciate you. And if you draw along, I would love it if you would drop a photo in the community space where you can put a post and let me see what you're drawing. Just tell me what video you're drawing with, and I'd love to see your work and send you some love. So that is all I have for you today, my friends. And I will leave you with this thought, as I always do. Be you and be happy.